This Top Gun Maverick movie is really popular. It's the first movie of 2022 to just fly past, get it? $1 billion at the worldwide box office. Yes, no. Just think of the other movies that have been out this year from the likes of Marvel that include... Remember Doctor Strange? Yeah, that was there. It came and went. It had a really good opening weekend and then fell right off a cliff. Too bad he didn't have portals or anything like that. Really could have solved all the problems in that film. But even still, how many just films have come and gone and not even remotely affected Top Gun Maverick's success, okay? Like, they were sitting at the beginning of the previous week. They were at about $940 million worldwide. It looked like it was possible. It was possible that they might cross $1 billion worldwide over this weekend. There was an outside chance. There wasn't much competition, especially with what else Hollywood is putting out right now. But again, if it was, did it even just slightly decently, next weekend, okay, is Independence Day weekend. It would have just absolutely obliterated that. So it just looks like it could take a victory lap on the 4th of July, which is just so fucking great. And also a nice nod to another Tom Cruise film. But another landmark as well. This is the first, imagine this, right? Like, this is Tom Cruise we're talking about, okay? This is his first $1 billion film. Isn't that weird to think about? But it is. Okay, so Paramount Skydance, Top Gun Maverick has raced past the $1 billion mark worldwide, and it isn't just because of domestic buys, okay? We're going to break down that specifically right here, because this is just, okay, this kind of busts apart that whole narrative that is just, it's just pro-America propaganda. Nobody else is going to like it. Yeah, it's almost like you just shovel out all of the social justice-y nonsense that's overwhelmed a lot of Hollywood productions, and you just make a good movie that people like, that's just like ultra-masculine and hyper-patriotic, and people around the world like that because they like to see that reflected. Okay, you can extrapolate that onto your love of your own country, or just, the love of yourself and your kin, and guess what? At the end of the day, you're gonna have people who like your product. It's a fucking wild concept that was really, really, really good out there in society and perpetuated Hollywood for a long time until about the 2010s. But now, could this be a return to normal? Because the last time we had such a successful movie like this just come out of left field, it overwhelmed us with stupid 3D gimmicks for a fucking better part of a decade. Stupid Avatar. And then we're going to have that fucking dog shit sequel come out of absolute nowhere. I think that's coming out within a couple of weeks' time or a couple months' time. But yeah, man, the fact that you can even see that just a little bit up there at the top. There's an Elvis biopic out right now, which, oh man, like music biopics, they're pretty hit and miss. Like, I really like Walk the Line, the Joaquin Phoenix, Johnny Cash biopic. That's really, really, really good. Okay, and Jamie Foxx's Ray, it was good at the time. I'd have to go back and watch it. Not entirely sure, but he did win the Oscar for it, and from what I can remember, it was pretty decent, but that was a long time ago. And then, I don't know about the rest of the biopics that are out there. I know Bohemian Rhapsody had some good music. I'm sure Rocket Man probably did as well, but I hope the Elvis one is good, because, it's Elvis after all. But still, the fact that Top Gun Maverick, which has been out since Memorial Day long weekend in May, we're at the end of June and it's still at the top of the box office. I think we got a winner here. I think we have a formula that we can use going forward, because we definitely have a comparison right now, but more on that in a moment. It took just 31 days for the Aviators to get $1 billion with total through Sunday. So even still, there's still money to be made out here for today, or for Sunday's matinees, and again, whatever it's going to make over, because they'd be retarded to take it out of theaters, okay, knowing what's coming next week. But regardless, including domestic estimates at $521 million, it just passed $1 billion. And domestically, oh, this is just a pro-American propaganda movie. It made a little over half of its money domestically. Okay, $484.7 million internationally. People around the world, except for China. I don't think it made it to China. Did it make it to China? Not entirely sure, but even still, it's popular everywhere because people like to see fighter planes. People like to see practical effects in movies. people like to see homage paid to the source material, okay? Not assassinating characters, not subverting expectations, making a good fucking movie, putting it out for people to enjoy, and not denigrating the fan base. In fact, being thankful for people to show up to the theaters, okay? Like, past couple of weeks, we've been looking at different Twitter posts that are out there from certain entitled actors on some really brain dead topics, but you take a look at what Tom Cruise is putting out there. He is over the moon happy. I'm sure his little ass is hopping on every couch that he sees out there. He is over the moon thanking fans for coming out to see this film, because it's been a passion project in the works for the better part of 4 decades. Like it says, the overseas hold on the 36 years later sequel, directed by Joseph Kosinski, have been nothing short of stellar. Last weekend's drop, just a 21% drop off. Fuck, 26% down internationally. Like, okay, you compare and contrast that to Doctor Strange. That was like an 85% drop off from week 1 to week 2. We're talking about like a quarter drop off, okay? Like week after week after week. Okay, there is nothing that is going to stop this film other than, I don't know, man. We just got to release it to the public, because unless we want to take it on tour like fucking Cats at this point, like there's no slowing it down, because people like movies, okay? The escapist types that are out there, they just want to put 2 hours away and they just want to watch a good movie. They don't want to be preached to wherever they fucking go. They want politics taken out of their entertainment, okay? Because you hear them in the streets right now, not knowing exactly what they're talking about. Separate church and state because abortion is really a problem for 0.01% of people who actually need an abortion for horrific circumstances. But instead, you know what, putting a curtail on some open hypergamy, oh my god, it's the end of the fucking world. But still, separate church and state, great, it's already been done. Separate politics from entertainment. Can we start working on that? Because it looks like that infusion, it's finally starting to kill off entertainment. Because Buzz Lightyear film, right? This one's just perplexing, okay? Like, it's a continuation of the Toy Story, regrettably, franchise, okay? Like those 3 movies and then that one spin-off which has a 4 at the end of it or some dumb shit like that. But even still, beloved stuff, okay? I think I went to the theaters to see the first one. Really liked the second one. I'd have to go back and watch it to see how well it holds up. But no, the first one probably does hold up, but it's been a minute since I watched that, even still. But those are legendary films. I think it was the first, not from Legendary, ew, Zack Snyder, fuck off. But no, I think they were the first films to be put out by Pixar. Like, they were groundbreaking. Not like Avatar and their stupid fucking gimmicks, but legitimately groundbreaking with the technology they had at the time, because I think that was like 96, 94? 1995. I had to go check it up just to make sure, because those graphics still hold up to this day, okay? There was just iterations on it all the way up to and through Cars and all that stuff as well. Like, it was hit after hit after hit when it comes to Pixar productions, okay? Until Cars 3. And it's like, that was pretty tenuous, because what the fuck was Cars to begin with? But then its first, like, outright flop, okay, was Lightyear, okay? And it made no sense, because this is Toy Story. This is a Toy Story branded product, okay? And this was, it at least had links, okay, to the first film, okay? Because the entire reason Andy wanted the Buzz Lightyear doll was because he apparently seen this film. So this was supposed to be enticing for children, okay, back in 1995, okay? So that's a cool little insight, okay? Like, didn't expect this to be coming or anything like that, but it was a recipe for success. It was easy fucking money, but instead of, you know what, taking the sack of cash to the bank, they tripped on the curb and shoved it up their assholes, because they just, okay, it's an animated film. It was an animated film, and you decided to recast Buzz Lightyear? Why? Well, we know why. Look at the personal politics of Tim Allen. He doesn't let it affect anything that he does specifically, and it's not like because he's Hollywood poison, okay? He had a sitcom not that long ago, Last Man Standing, that's what it was. It was on Fox. It was doing really well, and then it got canceled. Not for like anything. It's not like just me saying it was doing really well and people liked it. No, it was actually pulling numbers in like horrific time slots. And then they just got rid of it because he's kind of like conservative and stuff, and we don't really like that. So if we could just get rid of that, yeah, that'd be great. But this is an animated film, and he's the only Buzz Lightyear that's out there. And then you recast it with Chris. Everybody who I don't like and don't align with 100% ideologically is a fucking racist, and you got to deal with it. Evans, like, it makes zero sense. Like, I get if it was live action. Tim Allen in 95 compared to Tim Allen of 2022 is a vastly different individual, but these are computer graphics. And this was supposed to be the film that Andy watched that precipitated the purchase of his parents getting the Buzz Lightyear doll, which has Tim Allen's voice, which theoretically, I don't know about you, but every other speaking doll from a movie normally has the lines delivered in the toy by the actor on the screen. Like, that disconnect there is like, what are you doing? And then your entire marketing campaign was centered around, oh, we got a gay kiss in a Pixar movie. And it's like, oh, great. Like, that would have been a thing in 1995. What are you doing here? You're not doing anything good about that. And then that's when Chris Evans decided to spurg out. And it's like, if you don't like it, good. You're a dinosaur and you're just going to die out. And it's like, oh, no, that's all of your potential audience that's out there. This is a kid's movie, you fucking idiot. Okay? And you just say anybody who doesn't want to indoctrinate their children with our leftist ideology, you don't need to show up. And it's like, okay, good, we'll just take your advice. And it's like, what are you doing? Listening to you. Isn't that what you wanted? Yes, but stop being a bigot and come support me. And it's like, no, we're good. So you want to compare and contrast Top Gun's success to Lightyear's absolute fucking disaster? Like, these were two films, okay? Top Gun was supposed to be successful because what was Top Gun? The homoerotic volleyball movie with a bunch of fighter jets over top of it. And what was the sequel? A very troubled sequel that had a very long production time, which obviously normally creates a fairly troubled product at the end of the day, as opposed to Lightyear, the origin story for Buzz Lightyear. That should have printed money, but here we are. What began as kind of a moderate success with Top Gun being the most successful film probably of 2022, all depends on what Avatar does, because the Avatar sequel, again, don't really fucking know. It's probably way too late for that. And I've watched the first Avatar. Who the fuck remembers the first Avatar? But it's James Cameron, his passion project, whatever, still. But Lightyear's success, that was supposed to make like 750, 800 million, maybe $1 billion, because it's Toy Story, it's Buzz Lightyear. But they fucked it up, okay? Disney burnt all of their goodwill with parents in Florida, backing a nonsensical, the words that weren't even in the fucking bill itself. Oh my God, don't say gay. We stand with the rainbow community and the alphabet community because that's who staffs all of our HR departments. And that's our company position because we have to have that. You did it to yourself. You played yourself. Congratulations. You're stupid. Let's read a little bit of this. This is from Kyle Smith, Captain Generic name, but I'm sure he's got a pretty decent take on this. Hollywood was founded by and for generations by communists. By pure showmen who were fanatically devoted to giving the audience what it wanted. Kind of, sort of, but Hollywood was always running, propped up by communists. Razor Fist has a really good video on that. But anyways, today's Hollywood message is, let us entertain you. But first, a brief lecture. Brief lecture? No. It permeates the entire storyline. And in fact, it takes over for good writing for a lot of time. But I'll let you continue. Artists and entertainment corporations have always been desperate to be taken seriously, hence their need to manufacture respectability via words given out by highfalutin, august-sounding institutions such as the Academy of Motion Picture Art and Sciences. Sciences? You guys are creating pretty pictures, not curing cancers. Some of the technology, you should call it technology instead of science, but again, that was all founded in like just about 100 years ago at this point. But anyways, the Oscars initially went to box office giants. Yeah, no, exactly. But then they started to huff their own farts and around. That same time when Hollywood films themselves started to become dog shit. So correlation, not quite causation, but numbers speak for themselves. Glossy romantic dramas and swaggering historical epics. Yeah, like the last time I can remember, like one of my personal favorite movies winning an Oscar for Best Picture, Gladiator. Does anybody remember the past 3 Oscar winners, okay, for Best Picture? No? Okay, neither can I. Their movie industry dived into awards pictures and audience pictures in the past few years, and even pictures have started to fill up their reminders about racism, feminism, immigration. And that's just their acceptance speeches. These are important matters, but people go to movies primarily for escape. Fair enough. One reason Top Gun Maverick is such a huge success, the biggest movie of Tom Cruise's career. That's wild, but it makes sense. And probably the biggest movie of the year, more than likely. It all depends on what Thor does, and boy, is that going to follow the exact same trajectory. Huge opening weekend. I'm going to guess like a 90% drop-off, because if you take a look at some of the trailers that are coming out of that, all it's missing is just the Chuck Lorre laugh track underneath of it, and what a fucking steaming pile of dog shit. I'm sure Christian Bale is probably going to try to act his ass off, but it's going to be wasted under 1,000 layers of saturation and some hack fucking jokes and scrunched faces from Tessa Thompson. Anyways, is that it simply ignores all quarrelsome real-world issues. Top Gun Maverick, yeah, it's like they wanted to create an evergreen movie, kind of like the first one. Okay, America, fuck yeah. We don't need to be talking about current day. It's almost like, yeah, they have black fighter pilots, and it don't matter. These guys are just all a part of the Air Force, and they're just going to go out there and bomb the fuck out of whoever they need to. Great, cool, wonderful. It's like the real world where people just work together and don't focus on immutable characteristics. Imagine that. It's weird, right? Because the same people who think by infusing politics into literally everything because everything's political, taking your stupid dumb shit fucking takes, as opposed to how Top Gun Maverick accurately, at least as much as you can, accurately represent human interactions. They do a better job by keeping real world arguments, one-sided debates, yelling and screaming matches, taking that out of it. They do a better job, and it resonates better with the wider public, because they might voice their support for whatever current cause is, but then at the end of the day, when they need to put their money where their mouth is, they're just going to stay out of the conversation, because most people just want to keep their head down. They just want to be the worker bee. They just want to go to work. They want to punch in for 9 to 5. They don't want any problems, okay? They just want to go to the movies the Friday night or something. Go to the fucking Applebee's or a TGI Fridays before or after, okay? Fuck their pleasantly plump husband or wife and talk to their 2 kids who have various levels of disgust. That's your average people that are out there, okay? They don't want to be bothered with this nonsense. Instead of look at how progressive our first on-screen lesbian kiss in a fucking moving pictures film is. Look at how stunning and brave we are by putting 2 computer-generated images together in close proximity and pushing together their CGI lips together. Stunning and brave. And we had it come out in June as well. That's nice. Meanwhile, Disney's much touted Lightyear. I didn't hear anything about this, but again, it's Lightyear, and you guys fucked it up. But anyways, came out and did surprisingly poorly after a week of release talk about the lesbian relationship in the film. Yeah, it's supposed to be about a dude going to space, and all I seen from production material was Buzz Lightyear had a cat. Because the people who write this type of shit can only fucking put themselves in this situation, because they're probably just lonely soy boys, and they think that, oh, Captain America has the same politics I do, and I have multiple cats, but it would be impractical for in a spaceship shuttle to have multiple cats there, so we'll just give him one. It's like, why does he have a cat? You would have thought that would have came up some point in time during Toy Story, but okay, cool. Same-sex marriage is a small part of the story, and no one should be bothered by the existence of gay people, even in a kid's movie. No, specifically to a kid's movie. Why would you need to put that in there, okay? If it happened incidentally, if you weren't trying to market it based on that, it might have just been a scene. It might have been a representation of just, equality when it comes to relationships, because I thought that's what those activist types want. No, we just want equal treatment before the law. No, you want supremacy, so it's time we start to fucking acknowledge that. But anyways, but the shocking underperformance must have Disney wondering whether people stayed away because they thought that Lightyear was a message movie. No, it's because the star of the film told you to not come see it if you don't adhere, if you don't march in lockstep with the rest of us. And we're like, okay. Now he'll just scream on Twitter about how everybody out there is a bigot because they didn't see his fucking flopping, failing movie. Or maybe because it's too late. Because, again, I remember watching Toy Story when it first came out in 1995. Okay, so people my age, 30 crowd, okay, stupid fucking worthless millennials, they're taking their kids to films, okay? I don't know, maybe because they have custody this weekend or whatever the fuck it is. And they're of one of two minds, okay? Realizing that, okay, Top Gun is probably something that I'd enjoy as well. And the kids, you know what, hey, they might enjoy, you know, the explosions that are there. Or you want to go see a Disney film, which is probably, you know, going to be whatever, okay? It's just, what have you heard about it so far? Oh, it's about an astronaut, and hey, isn't Disney that company that's a little bit more political and, you know, making really bad decisions when it comes to their motion pictures? When it at the end of the day, parents are choosing the apolitical, okay, just the realistic explosions as opposed to, you know, the rainbow colored CGI explosions. It's fucking as obvious as the day is long here, kids. No, this dude's just trying to play both sides, but honestly, I think Disney can probably take this loss on the chin because it's Disney at the end of the day. Most of their money is made in their theme parks, and they're still just completely filled to the gills just like this. It's Orlando's a tourist industry. It's speaking specifically about Disney World, okay, people go to Orlando, okay, it's still a goal for many, many, many families to just go to Disneyland, okay, go to Universal Studios. They're both in close proximity to one another, okay, spend thousands and thousands of dollars to just be reminded of a once proud company that used to make decent films and not just message pieces. They have an opportunity here to just right the course, okay? To realize that this shit is pretty much fucking falling off, okay? Like, it's alright if you just don't, because they just think that, oh, you just want to film with straight white people. And it's like, didn't you see the fact that Top Gun kind of had, you know, not just all straight white people? And it's like, okay, cool. If you don't make it central to the marketing, to the messaging, it's like, look at all of our blacks. It seems just a touch disingenuous, okay? Like, I don't know, maybe if you just wrote good characters and you gave them to compelling actors and actresses that are out there, maybe people would come see your film, okay? I don't know. Maybe this will be the inflection point for Hollywood. I wouldn't hold my breath, and then you can't also do that in space, but where's Buzz in his, like, his actual gear, right? No, even still, even in an animated film, you gotta expose the cartoon character's face. It's fucking retarded. Anyways, course correct right now. You have an opportunity to right the ship, but it's Disney. They're just going to double down on their nonsense. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.